Hello everyone, this will be an in-depth video. The content of this video is about retesting. That's it, let's get started. Based on the knowledge from the previous video, which I explained quite thoroughly, you can quickly identify that this is the important key level. This is the old bottom. And at the important key level, there is a very strong selling force. This is probably very familiar. If you predict that the downward trend will continue, then right at this moment, you can place a pending order at the old bottom. And the SL is set tightly behind the important key level like this. This is how I draw, to explain it for everyone to understand. Before I trade, I don't draw this much, I just draw one thing like this. The meaning is still the same. But drawing it this way is faster, neater, and less cluttered, and also so that I can easily explain the important part now. Let's continue. With the knowledge learned from the previous video, this point, the price moves with an unusually strong force, creating the important key level. And in all the previous videos, I've always called this peak the key level with extremely strong selling pressure. Therefore, it creates consequences that I listed in the previous video. But there's one thing I haven't mentioned, which is the unusually strong force that creates the important key level. That extremely strong force actually consists of two price zones, two components, not just one component, as we often think. The first component is what we've all seen, to place an order like this, and that is right here. The price zone, from the important key level to the old bottom like this. The second component, which I haven't mentioned in the previous videos, is right here. It's the long body of the candle. A single push through the old low creates this anomaly here. To explain why that is, to make it easier to visualize, you can imagine the force, the extremely strong force that creates the important key level. That extremely strong force, it's like a compressed spring inside this box. So when that spring is compressed enough, when it breaks through the box, when it breaks, it still has momentum, it still has inertia before it stops. That part of the inertia before it stops is the second component. It belongs to that same extremely strong force. That's why I said, the extremely strong force that creates that key level actually consists of two components. When the price comes back to retest, but it only reaches this point, only reaches the second component, without touching your entry point above. It only reaches there, it doesn't touch the top, and it continues to go down, continues to break the low. So now you should understand that, although the price went up, it didn't reach your order entry point. But in essence, it has already retested the very strong force and is now going down. And your pending order above, you have to determine that you have missed it, so now just let it go. If, for example, now, the price suddenly comes back up again, then absolutely, do not place this limit order anymore, because the price has successfully retested the strong force above, and the possibility of it coming back up for a second retest, and that might happen, but now it's much, much lower. If you still want to enter a sell order now, then you should wait for confirmation before entering, and not place a limit order like the previous order. And that is also the reason why I didn't enter a trade in the previous video, when I go down to a smaller time frame to check. Although in that case, it doesn't look very clear. But now, if you re-watch that part, you can understand the reason why. The knowledge in this video, although it's small and that's all there is to it, but this is also an important part that needs to be remembered and understood clearly. This part, it's not that much, or is it difficult to practice? So let's go through an example very quickly. This is an upward trend. Suppose you predict that this uptrend, it's still on an upward trend, so now you are looking for a buying opportunity. So at this point, where can we buy? Looking here we see, this is the most recent peak of the previous downtrend. The price broke through the peak of the previous downtrend. With a very strong buying force like this, it is shown by two green candles with very long bodies. So, it looks very convincing like this. Should we enter a buy order right at this time? Here? SL after this or not? If you watch the video carefully, before in practice, then surely, you wouldn't enter a buy order like this. Seeing the strong buying force like this is convincing. This looks like a real breakout, but, if you watch that video carefully, you won't enter a buy order like this, because this force looks so strong. It looks very convincing, but it could still be fake. Strong like this, but it can still be fake, because the market now, it has not yet accepted this buying force. At this point, it is very likely that after that, the price drops with red-bodied candles. It's also similarly wrong. This buying force is strong, but not yet accepted, not necessarily real. Therefore, if you want to enter at this time now, then for safety, we should only enter the order here. And widen the SL to avoid being stopped out, TP up like this. Let's continue to wait and see. But then things changed. Just a little bit of time is all it takes. Everything has changed. The market now, it has accepted the previous extremely strong buying rule, is real, because, after the price breaks the peak with two green candles, the body is very long, the force is extremely strong, and the price is trying to pull back, for now. It's like the price is moving normally. For now, let's touch this peak, but the price has only pulled back to this point. Then continue to rise further up. Break through this peak one more time, continue to break the peak. And when the price continues to rise, continues to break the peak, that is, the market, it has accepted the extremely strong buying force ahead, is real. This is still just the old knowledge from the previous video. It's just a review, nothing new. So, at this point, we are allowed to enter a trade just like before. Enter the command here. SL after this and TP up like this. And the price is now pulling back. It's likely to hit my entry point first. But the price didn't continue to fall, instead it rose. It's going up and breaking the peak again. So, based on what we talked about at the beginning of the video. So, let's determine that this buy order, it has been missed, so it needs to be deleted. Missing a trade in an extremely strong force like this, it's just normal, it's nothing strange, because the uptrend is very strong like this. And the second component of the extremely strong buying force that creates the important key level below here, it's right here. This price zone is the second component. The momentum part, the inertia of the extremely strong buying force, after breaking through the box, I mentioned it at the beginning of the video. It is this price area, which is quite wide. This area is quite large. So, although the price has not yet reached the entry point, at my bottom side, it just got to the second component and went up. So it can also be said that the price has retested the extremely strong force that created the important key level. The lower order was missed the first time. Even though I understood it, I still got it wrong sometimes. So at that time it will be like this, right? But then to make it easier to visualize, I can easily visualize it. Then I just imagine, I'll just draw it on the chart. The price has essentially retested this level. For easy visualization, that is, in my eyes, the price. It has pulled back to retest this level. It's just that I missed the buy order at that point. And to make it easier to visualize, then with this chart. In a simple chart, I would draw it like this. Okay, let's continue. It's repeating the exact same thing as before. The price breaks the peak with a long green candle, and then it also tries to pull back and retest. First, retest this peak. But it only got this far. It hasn't pulled back to touch the peak yet. Then it continues to rise, go up and break the peak again. At the moment when the price continues to rise, breaking the peak means that the market, it has accepted the extremely strong buying force from before, is real. Therefore, here, it is the important key level, with extremely strong buying force, and this is its old peak. Consequences of previous videos. Re-enter right here. SL after this and TP up. So that you can visualize it more easily. So this whole uptrend, drawn on its simplified chart, then it's like this. Okay, let's get back to it. The price also pulled back, but it hasn't pulled back to my entry point yet. Continues to rise, go up, and break the peak again. So, this command, is it the same as the last order? Did you miss the trade again? Oh no. Pay close attention here so you don't get confused. The price actually hasn't pulled back yet. It hasn't pulled back to retest yet. The extremely strong force that creates the important key level. Essentially, the market right now, it's still just going up in a staircase pattern. It hasn't pulled back yet, to draw on its simple chart. Then it's like this. It is still going up the stairs. It hasn't recovered yet. So this command, it's still valid. Nothing has happened to it yet. It's not a missed trade. It's just normal. Still able to hold the command. And now it's called a pullback. That's all the main content about the technical analysis of this video. It's short, but these things, it used to be a difficult one for me. And I hope it's the same for you. As for the market, it's always been the same. It's still just breaking and then retesting. Break through the old top and bottom to continue the current trend, or break the current trend to reverse. Almost all methods, it all revolves around these basics. It's just the story that's different when you tell it. Like the fact that the price comes back to retest. So there have been many explanations said about this. But in the end, whatever the story is, so the core of it is, it's just that much. It's just breaking and retesting. End of the video here. See you guys in the next video.